talk about politics and the voter register for election 2024 because the new patriotic party NPP in the Ashanti region is mounting pressure on the Electoral Commission to enforce the Kumasi High Court ruling to delete over 500 fraudulent names that were transferred from the Aswasi constituency to Manhyia South. The NPP took the case to court, accusing the NDC of illegally transferring over 500 voters to the Manhyia South constituency to bloat the register. Yesterday, the court delivered its verdict, ordering the EC to revert the affected voters to their original constituencies. Manhyia South constituency secretary for the NPP, Harun Al-Hassan, has been speaking to the media.
Houses that were contained in their documents for the transfer, and through the assistance of the landlords and landladies and those who live in the house, they were able to confirm to us that truly these people are not residents of those houses. So we went back to the court and defended all these issues. So eventually yesterday, the court ordered that 580 people who were transferred to Manhyia South during the transfer period should be sent back to where their votes were originally. And I think the EC will do the right thing. And we as constituency officers, as a party in Manhyia South, we are going to follow up and make sure that those people, as declared by the court, that these 580 people should be sent back to where they came from, is really done. We are going to make a follow-up on that and make sure that the right thing is done.
Harun Al-Hassan, Manhyia South Constituency Secretary of the NPP. Meanwhile, the NDC has given the Electoral Commission some ultimatum to respond to their call for an independent forensic audit of the voters' register. You remember last Tuesday, the Enough is Enough nationwide demonstration led by the NDC, joined by some civil society organizations and the public. They joined in. Their demand is that let's audit that register because it has some plethora of anomalies, including untraceable transfers, illegal transfers, like that has been identified by the NPP in Manhyia South that they went to court. The NDC today wrote to the EC to officially respond to that demand. Let's speak to a Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC, Alhaji Mahdi Jibril. Good evening to you, Alhaj. Very grateful for your time tonight on 505.
Thanks for having me.
Why another letter to the EC?
Let me say good evening to your cherished listeners. It's important for us as a party to follow up from where we ended the last time after submitting our petition to the Electoral Commission. Electoral Commission replied the same day, informing us that they will go through it and then get back to us. It has taken a week now. Time is also of an essence in what we are doing. We have not heard from the Electoral Commission, and that is why we wrote back to them to follow up on the issue. Either they've forgotten about what they're supposed to do, or deliberately not really to respond to us. As a law-abiding political party, it seems on us to just remind them of what we asked from them. So that's why we sent a follow-up letter to them.
Why is the NDC not emulating the position of the NPP, especially in Manhyia South, deciding to take the issue to court, the court giving a clear ruling verdict, go and delete the 580 illegally transferred names or send them back to where they came from?
See, this is where people don't really understand most of the electoral process. If we have exhibition or registration, there's what we call objection or challenge. If you object at the points, the next thing you do is this rule that they use. If they have objected to the people who transfer their names into that area, meaning their transfer that they did, they saw that they didn't meet the requirement to transfer. Doesn't mean that the people who didn't come there, the people came to the transfer, the center transfer. They have now gone to the right zone. The people who transfer, they don't live there, and that's why they challenge them for the objection. It's a different ball game from what NDC is requesting here. For the NDC, what we are saying is that somebody sat in his house, transferred somebody illegally. On illegal, what do you do? Because you need to prove to everybody to know how even the system was used to do it. If you say reverse it, you will reverse it. But now the system has been broke into. How do you even correct that one? Because if you deal with the procedure issue alone and it's done, Tomorrow, somebody will sit in Berlin, somebody will sit in the US, somebody will sit in Russia to be able to effect transfer of people's name into register because the system is not robust. And this is what the NDC is calling for, that easy. As a stakeholders, let's do forensic audit of the system so that you will really get the bottom of the issue. Because this the system, the Mensa itself, requested from people of Ghana that because you want to have a robust system, we should discard the old system that you came to meet. And during that time was the COVID time. Ghanaians agreed that, okay, we will accept to give you the money, even if you don't have money to buy medicine to take care of ourselves. The system was provided to you. 5 years down the line, somebody has been able to break into the system. This is what the NDC is asking. How do you know how this thing happen? Is this an office where system gets missing, the DVD gets missing, BVR gets missing? What is happening in the Electoral Commission? The system themselves, here we are where we said Coral Draw you used to project data and those things. These are the things that the NDC is asking for. Register corrections can be done, but the next register, before we even have a final register, the same human being who are there, the same system will be used. If the system is porous as it is, it means at the final register we'll have the same problem again. So if NDC is calling for this, it will be difficult for you to go to court, say, go and then reverse the name of the people without understanding what actually happened.
So, what will happen if the EC does not respond to your letter by close of tomorrow?
Now let's get to tomorrow.
So, after tomorrow, that's when the NDC is going to tell us what they're going to do.
But I believe that the Electoral Commission is not hidden to the criminal-minded of the MPP who threaten them that because they know that if they will do forensic audits or register, they will be exposed because they've already told the whole world that the register EC gave them is credible. It is after their claim of the register is credible that the MPP, the EC came out to say, yes, somebody illegally transferred people into the register. Now we are only talking about the 20, only from the procedure that we know the person. But we are saying similar things of the procedure of 3,000 is in the register. Who and who did that one? And that is what we are asking for. So if they don't come up to respond, even to accept the forensic audit, it's just to tell us that they are only trying to save the face of the MPP, who all these things are going to benefit them.
Okay, Madi, we are very grateful that you join us. We'll wait and see what happens in the next 24 hours. That's a Deputy Director of Elections for the NDC, Madi Jibril there. Well, still on the EC. Yesterday we talked about the PNC suing the Electoral Commission for the disqualification of their presidential candidates, Bernard Amber Tyler Mona, from the 2024 presidential elections. They have sued the EC. They want a declaration that the EC shouldn't print the presidential ballot papers until and after the court has decided on that. One of the political parties that was also affected and disqualified is the Progressive People's Party, PPP. Today, they have also gone to court. They have sued the Electoral Commission for same offense. They want their candidate included. They're seeking a lot of other things as well. Let's go on the phone line and speak to the National Secretary of the PPP, Remy Parko Edmondson. Edmondson, good evening to you. Thank you very much for your time on 505. Parko, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening.
Grateful. So, why has the PPP decided to go to court?
All right, thank you. So, we are going to court because we believe the Electoral Commission, headed by Mrs. Jan Mensah, has acted in very bad faith and has gone against the conduct in disqualifying our presidential candidate, Kofi Asamoah. We believe this flies against the principle of natural justice, which basically states that, everyone has the right to be heard. Now, the facts of the case are that after the filing of nominations was done on the 13th of September, the PPP, just like all other political parties, received letters from the Electoral Commission. We got ours on Saturday, the 14th, in which they stated and specified certain pages of our documents, which they found errors in, and asked us to pick the documents, rectify the issues, and resubmit the next day, Sunday. And this we did to the letter. Mind you, they failed in their letter to particularize the exact errors that they had found. They only mentioned pages. But nevertheless, we reworked the documents and sent them back. And then the whole of last week, from Monday to Friday, we never heard from them until we heard on social media that some candidates had received their letters, qualified candidates, via WhatsApp. And then upon following up, it was later in the Friday that they wrote back to us, telling us, again, repeating one line that the candidate was disqualified because of errors we found, and then we failed to rectify them within the time frame given. And this, it's our case that this is a complete lie, because, like I said earlier, we had already received an earlier letter where they mentioned certain pages, and we responded. In their letter, they never, as I said, both letters never clarified the exact nature of the errors that they are relying on to disqualify the candidate.
Okay.
And for us, that's a conduct in bad faith and a breach of existing laws. Don't forget that in 2016, the then candidate, Dr. PAA KWESI, was also disqualified by Shabbat in similar circumstances. And the High Court ruled that it was the job of the EC to help candidates to correct any errors they may find in their forms. Charlotte said then went to the Supreme Court in an effort to quash the ruling of the High Court. But the Supreme Court also rightly affirmed the ruling of the High Court and reinstated Dr. PAA KWESI on the ballot. And so we are very surprised that, given this precedent and given the nature of this, that the EC would go against an existing precedent and then disqualify our candidate in such a manner. And that is why we are going to court, and the main relief we are seeking is for the EC to be compelled to add Kofi Asamoah to the ballot on December 7th.
Oh, balloting has already been done. So how will the EC include you?
If the court, once the court gives a ruling, they will have no choice but to comply. I mean, that's not a problem at all. Yes. I mean, what matters is that the right thing is to be done. And I mean, once again, I'll use this platform to draw attention to some of these flagrant abuses of office that the EC undertakes, because the CI 127, their own CI 127 clearly states what the provision should be when dealing with candidates. That candidates at all times be given the opportunity to make corrections in any errors that the EC find. But once you fail to tell us the exact nature of the errors, and then arbitrarily write a letter that you are disqualifying a candidate for whatever errors you have not even brought to his attention, we find that quite unbecoming of an electoral management body.
Okay.